was the Royal Air Coach, Wrapped Around Your Mind, a previously unreleased psych rock gem from the 60s. Speaking of the 60s, got a nice pile of OGs to show today. But before we get going with those, I want to show a new release that just came out. You may have seen it already. DeadWax66 recently showed his. And it's the Spiders. Don't Blow Your Mind, the Mascot Sessions. Recorded in 1965. This is the Alice Cooper Group's first recording session. Recorded here in Phoenix, Arizona at Audio Recorders. They were a state-of-the-art recording studio at the time. A lot of famous people recorded there over the years, including Josephus. They came over from Texas and they recorded their Dead Man album there. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with this. I was a little bit apprehensive about the price, but it is pretty historical. So, nice package, cool photos, many of which I've never seen before. Great liner notes, put out by a group of guys here in the Phoenix area. So, pretty cool, man. Let me show the insert of the Spiders live in action at the VIP Club, I believe that is. So great picture there. And it comes with a couple of goodies. We got a reproduction of an original Spider 60s pin, handcrafted by Janice Buxton. I don't know if that was Glenn Buxton's mom or sister or who it was, but very cool. Could you imagine finding an original one of these? And a reproduction of the Spiders business card. I got number 315 of 1,000. That's a little bit later lineup there. With Michael Bruce. Michael Bruce is not on that album. John Spear is there. There's Michael Bruce. There's John Spear. He was the drummer. I met him once and he said that he left the band not because he wasn't good enough, it was because he didn't want to travel on the road. And if you want to call those phone numbers, the area code is 602. So cool. The vinyl itself is on red wax. Sounded awesome. I put it on side 1, sounded great, clean. Put it on side 2 and I started hearing some crackle, especially evident in the quiet parts of the recordings. So I put it on my Crosley Cruiser at 78 RPM, spun it through, cleaned it up. Can't even hear it now. Alright, now you might have this. Some of these recordings are on that album. That album features a lot of recordings that are previously unreleased. And like I said, I met John Spear in 1993 at a record show. And I had him sign a Tubes flyer that he had there on his table. He gave it to me. So, very cool. I had him sign it to Brad because that's my middle name, and that was kind of a name I used to use when I was younger, especially with all my friends. That's the name that I grew up with. So, I did have him sign it, Brad. Alright. One more, that album features the Don't Blow Your Mind first recordings. And later they went to Tucson and they recorded down there and they did a better, superior version of it down in Tucson with the B-side no price tag. So both of those tracks are available on this Back from the Grave Volume 7, which originally came out in 1988. So if you want those tracks, you can get them on this album. Alright, let's get going. I got a little Bubblegum. I've been wanting this one for a couple of years. And it's Castanet's Cat Super Circus. You see, I believe this is the second one. You see the first one a lot in the bins. I've been looking for this one. There's another volume too, so they did 3 of them. This has got Quick Joey Small on it, Run Joey Run, which is very cool, sort of punker bubblegum. It's got Joey Levine, Joey Levine, however you want to pronounce his name. He was the lead singer of the Ohio Express, and he does on the vocals on this pretty much. Yeah, really good album. I've listened to it a couple of times and I really like it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a cheap album, got a really nice clean copy of it, so nice. Okay, I got a couple of albums in the shrink with hype stickers, and the unusual thing is they're both gatefolds, so that's pretty unusual to find gatefold album covers still in the shrink. So we got the Rolling Stones, what is it, Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass. And there's the hype sticker, which I'd never seen before. Reissues of this album have that hype sticker on it, except it's in black and white. This is in purple and white. So very cool. It's amazing nobody took the shrink off so they could look at the booklet that's inside of the gatefold. And the other one is third album by Steppenwolf, At Your Birthday Party. And it's got the Rock Me hype sticker on it. Down below it says, it mentions the movie Candy. So, wow. That's got to be pretty damn scarce. Nice clean Monarch pressing. Okay, this one, I have a mono copy of the Kinks Face to Face, but I wanted a stereo because parts of this is true stereo, and some of it's rechanneled stereo. I know the opening track, Party Line, is true stereo. So I got a nice, nice clean copy of this at the Antique Mall for 20 bucks, easily worth about 40. So cool. Another upgrade I got was the Yardbirds For Your Love, and a really sweet cover. This is a rechanneled stereo copy. There's one true stereo track on here, and it's Sweet Music, which is probably the worst track on the whole album. You know, it's definitely sounds like a demo or, you know, a serious outtake or whatever. But that's kind of weird that that's in true stereo, but yeah. Upgraded this, so pretty nice. I don't have a mono copy. Mono copies are harder to find, and so yeah, nice. Another mono I got was the Who Sellout. Now this was an upgrade for me. I kept my original cover, but I just swapped out the vinyl. The vinyl was a nice VG Plus. So, same pressing anyway, so I just swapped them out. And, yeah, this is pretty different compared to stereo. So, cool. The Rolling Stones, their Satanic Majesty's Request, second UK pressing, stereo. And, this is, the first pressing after they got away from the lenticular cover. So it's kind of nice to have a regular cover, you know, just to see the picture more clearly. And it is on it's a nice VG Plus copy on a green Deca label. So very cool. It does not have the smoke inner sleeve, or wait a minute. No, yeah, it came with this one. So I guess the smoke inner sleeves are only on the lenticular copies. Then they started using this. Sounded great. Definitely sounds better than the original stereo US copies. Not by a huge margin, but I could definitely tell it was better sound. So that was a good score at 30 bucks, man. I didn't hesitate on that. Okay, now I've got 3 ABC albums to show. The first one is the second album by Eden's Children, Sure Looks Real. This one isn't as fuzzed out as their first album. It's really good though. It's a little more diverse compared to their first album, and I dig it. And this was an upgrade for Theater's debut album. My copy had ring wear, so got a cleaner vinyl too. ABC. Heavy organ prog psych from '68, Boston. Cool. The third ABC that I got is the Queen's Nectarine Machine. So this is their only album. These guys were from back east. And I don't know exactly what state. It might have been like New Jersey or New York or something like that. Yeah, they were basically a rock band, but when they got signed to ABC, the production team, you know, gave them this sort of occult, mystical persona, you know. And oddly enough, even the catalog number is 666, which is pretty weird. Yeah, it's a good album. I like a lot of the tracks on this, especially like on side 1. Very cool stuff. Definitely, if you see this, grab it. It's good. Release of an Oath, The Electric Prunes, Not. It's basically a David Axelrod album. The Prunes don't even appear on this. They got a bunch of sessions players to handle the backing tracks, but it has some vocal on it. It's kind of like Release of an Oath, but Release of an Oath, or what am I saying? It's a lot like Mass in F minor, but not as good. Orange Top. Yeah, these have gone up in value just because it's David Axelrod. So yeah, I used to have one of these back in the 80s and I got rid of it, so I'm glad to get it again. I got a mono copy of the debut album by Moby Grape. Sounds awesome in mono. Pretty clean copy. Little scuffy, but plays awesome, so pretty pleased with it. Didn't cost me an arm and a leg either. And the final album I have to show is a mono copy of The Seeds, Web of Sound. I've been on the hunt for this for a long time. I've come across a few out in the wild over the years, but they've always been whipped. And this has got the boxed GNP Crescendo label with the misprinting titles for Mr. Farmer. On the label it says The Farmer, and on the back of the cover it says The Farmer. Sounds awesome in mono. So yeah, now I just need to get a stereo copy of this OG, because I don't have that. But other than that, I'm pretty set on Seeds albums. So cool. Alright, that's gonna do her. Thanks for stopping by, checking out what I have for today. I do have some other stuff to show, but that will be coming up in the next video. So everybody take care, and I shall see you in the future. Later.